So, I think I said I was going to give you the top 5 marketing tactics that are working now. Is that the title of my talk, Lindsay? Has everybody enjoyed the 2 days? Has it been more than you expected? Yes. Okay. Somebody asked me, how's it meeting your expectation levels? I would say it's well exceeded my expectation levels. We have feedback forms that we would really like to have you fill out, not while I'm talking right now, but we really do need those back. And your comments would actually be more helpful, right? So this is where some of the qualitative stuff, we couldn't ask you, what city would you like to have the next summit in? Or give you a list. But give us really specific stuff, like what you loved about it, okay? Was the hotel great? Was the hotel too expensive? Was the hotel too cheap? How was lunch? Do you want to have lunch next year? Do you want us to have a functional aging summit too? Okay? So we really want that feedback. It's going to really help us plan for next year's event. We anticipate there will be next year's event, so we've been really pleased. So please make sure after I'm done you fill those out, because that's going to really help us plan for next year. Was there anything else I was supposed to announce, Cody? Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so the marketing challenge. We've heard a lot of stuff about marketing, so I'm just going to try to put a cap on it. I'm not going to give you 19 different ways to do email marketing, but I'm going to kind of give you a cap on some of the things, okay? So, the marketing challenge, your mission, should you choose to accept it. Obviously, we have to find them. We've talked a lot about that the last 2 days. You have to engage with them. So, you can hire a 22-year-old trainer that can engage with older adults. Gabby, who works for me, she was an intern at 22. I mean, she absolutely loves older adults, right? Like the people she most likes to hang out with are her grandparents. She loves our clients, and is passionate about them. You can see it in the video we showed earlier, okay? You have to engage with them. You have to get them to know, like, and trust you. I'm going to talk about that when we get into our marketing messages. Your marketing really needs to be designed to get them to know, like, and trust you, not to try to convince them to buy your program. Most people that come in to meet with me, they're already sold. They already know me, they already like me, and they already trust me. So it's really easy to sell them a fitness program that's $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. You do have to sell. Who in here thinks selling's a bad word in fitness? Nobody. Wow, okay. Probably some people that don't want to raise their hands are too tired. Okay. Bedros puts it a little bit stronger, right? Extract people's money. Well, if we don't sell someone a fitness program, they're going to walk out the door and they're either going to do nothing or they're going to go somewhere else. And I don't know where they're going to go if they go somewhere else in my community, okay? So I tell my trainers, we're doing them a huge disservice if we let them walk out the door and we haven't sold them a program. In fact, we can't help them. We can't change their life. We have no idea what's going to happen to them. Right? So if your intake process is, well, I hope to hear from you, right? We're doing them a big disservice. No, it's not I hope to hear from you. It's you need to sign up for my program today because I want to change your life. That's the selling that I'm talking about. And then we have to serve them and we have to satisfy them. So if your programs aren't effective, if they're not serving their needs, then why are we doing it? So the top 5 tactics that are working really well for my business, and I think will work really well for yours. These are working now. They're not in any particular order, but they're in the order I'm going to talk about them. Email marketing continues to be the number 1 generating source for us. I still hear people say, well, yeah, but my community, older people aren't on email. Well, then you must be going after like 90 plus, okay? Jimbo, how old are you? 75. How long have you been using email for? 35 years? I mean, as long as email's been around, right? I don't know that it's been around that long, but you were ahead of the curve in 1980. So. Yeah. Yeah.
I had web TV. That's how I started.
The older market's absolutely on email. In fact, I find they trust me more on email than people under 50, especially if you know how to communicate and have a relationship through email. Email absolutely works. Facebook. Not going to spend a lot of time on Facebook with the Facebook guru in the back, but Facebook works. And Scott's been teaching me a bunch. If you have not watched our webinar, you've got to watch that. Scott gets up at, 3 in the morning you got up? That's what time it started. What time did you get up? 2:15. Okay, here's a guy who's passionate about helping personal trainers. If he'll get on a webinar, you chose the time, so it wasn't my fault. He chose the time. We start the webinar. He's like, it's 3 a.m. here. I'm like, man, you're crazy. But he's passionate about helping trainers with Facebook. That webinar was tremendous. So you got to get that webinar. Video, really powerful, right? This is the TV generation. Right? They respond to videos. I had a client come in the other day. I kid you not. She signed up for a $5,000 program. I didn't have to do anything because she'd already seen my entire sales consultation presentation in a video. She's like, I've already seen that. You're going to draw this line. You're going to do this. She's like, I want to sign up for the 3 times a week. I'm like, okay. I'm like, it almost threw me. I was like, you don't want to even talk about it? She's like, no, I've already seen it. She's like, I know what you do. I've watched like 7 of your videos. She already knew me. I didn't know her. I was trying to get to know her. She wouldn't even let me. She's just like, I know you, I'm ready, right? Video is powerful. Now, we have 3 ways really we can do video. There's probably more that I don't even know about. So we've got YouTube, we've got Facebook, and TV. Interesting thing about YouTube, we have a YouTube channel. We've got over 100 videos, 30-some thousand views. I don't know how many subscribers at the moment. Interesting thing about YouTube, and Scott mentioned this, where'd the laser go? If you put a YouTube link on your Facebook page, Facebook doesn't like you very much. So we have about 1,500 followers for Miracles Fitness. So if I put a YouTube link up to a video, I get like 50 people see it, right? Like Facebook's like, we're not going to let anybody see that, right? Because we don't want anybody going to YouTube or leaving Facebook. Put that same video up, download it, put it on Facebook, you'll get 300 or 400 people seeing it. Huge difference, right? It's really not much difference because I'm not doing it. One of my admins is doing it. And I just say, just remember, don't use the YouTube link, download it, put it in Facebook, okay? Simple little tip. Now, with Facebook, and you can even do this with YouTube, but with Facebook, you can start running video ads. So if you know I want to target 60 to 65-year-old women, let's say 60 to 64, Facebook still has not broken out the 65 plus category. I think that's very ageist of them, but they'll come around eventually. If you want to target 60 to 64-year-old women and dominate that market, you start running Facebook videos, they're going to see you on video all over, just like you're running a TV commercial, right? Every time they're in their Facebook feed. Now there's Dawn Sylvester again, running some video, right? So you kind of become this celebrity through Facebook video, okay? And it's very cheap. What is it, like 2 cents a video view, Scott? Less? Yeah, I've been running them like 1-2 cents a video view. Thousands of them, right? So if you think about what a TV spot costs, right? TV spots are pretty expensive. You get a couple thousand people to see it. Well, now on Facebook, I can get a couple thousand people to see it for pennies, right? Very, very effective. We do run TV, and it's been very successful for us. I always tell people my kids have had a hard time with that one because they're like, Dad, everywhere we go, people know you. I'm like, I'm sorry about that. I'm on TV a lot, right? We go to the mall. Somebody randomly, I've seen you. I'm like, probably on TV. My kids are like, gee. They don't really care that I'm a local celebrity, right? TV actually now, with cable, fiber optic, all these different segments, you might be shocked to find out that you can buy TV ads in your market for as cheap as $1 a spot.
What?
Yeah. In my market, Metronet came in. It's fiber optic. They're cutting into Comcast. And I can buy TV spots on Metronet for $1 a spot. ESPN, HGTV, Food Network. I mean, you name top networks. Now, which networks do I want to be on? I don't want to be on ESPN. I don't want to be on ESPN. I want to be where women 55 to 65 are, right? Now, I'm not saying women 55 to 65 don't watch ESPN, okay? Don't get mad at me. But I want to be where women 55 to 65 are, right? So I asked the TV stations, give me your demographics. Where are women in this demographic watching, right? Where do you guys think? Food, yep. That Oprah one, yep. OWN, Bravo. So guess what? When men come in, they're like, oh, I'm seeing your TV commercials a lot. I'm like, okay, you're watching some interesting shows. Real Housewives of New York, huh? So I kid you not, look into TV. People make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, TV's really, really expensive. I pay $1 a spot for my TV commercials. Now, I'm in a really small TV market, which helps. If you're in Philadelphia, it's probably not going to be affordable, okay? You're going to need to do the Facebook and the YouTube route and niche it down to your neighborhood, your zip code, okay? But if you're in a market under 300,000, I would absolutely look into it because you might be shocked at how cheap it is because cable has really, really parceled it down. So I can advertise on the Travel Channel, on golf. Guess who's watching travel and golf? Boomers and seniors, right?
Do they film it for you, or do you have to arrange your own filming for it?
Yeah, good question. Either. So they typically will do it in-house for you, and they'll charge you anywhere from $500 to $800 for a very average commercial. You can often go out and find a videographer who will do it for less and twice the quality. That's what I have done. So I'm going to show you some of our videos here in a little bit. Anybody in a B&I chapter? Couple. And if you don't know what it is, you're not in one. So, okay. Business, Networking, International. My B&I chapter, I can easily say, has been worth somewhere between $1.5 and $1.7 million to my business. Okay? Now, it has not been worth that in terms of direct clients, right? Like I haven't just gotten hundreds and hundreds of clients. But I've built a network and I have built social capital. I know 40 to 45 other business owners in town. If you need a plumber, I've got one for you. If you need an electrician, I've got one for you. If my client has a problem, I have a solution. That's power, that's influence, right? Like Dan knows everybody. I don't know everybody, but I have a really strong network. Guess what? I built a relationship of 5 years with these business owners. The architect, who's probably one of the wealthiest members, comes to me and says, Dan, you're way overpaying. Your rent is way too high. He knew where I was renting. It was one of the most expensive strip malls. Our landlord was notorious for, it wasn't way overpaying, but I was paying 20% probably above the market. Architect comes to me and says, we'll build you a building and rent it to you. So brand new facility, 1,000 more square feet. We'll rent it to you for essentially the same rent as what you're paying, but 1,000 more square feet, and it's brand new, and you can design it how you want. And we'll give you the option to buy the building. I was like, why would I not do this, right? What's the catch? He's like, the only catch is if, eventually you go out of business, then obviously we'll own the building and we'll sell it to somebody else, and I was like, So my rent stays the same. I get 1,000 more square feet. It's a brand new building in a prime location, right? We're more visible. It was an old Kmart parking lot in a prime location in our town. In fact, people could not wait for it to be redeveloped. And we got right next to us a brand new bank, a brand new car wash, and a brand new 2-story medical building. Why would I not do this? Tell you about the power of relationship and building reputation. They never even asked for my financials. Now, I would say that might be irresponsible on their part, but they believed in me, they trusted me, they knew my business had been going for 5 years, they knew what I was paying in rent, they knew I could afford to pay my rent, and they knew worst case scenario, we'll own a $1.7 million building. 10 months later, I was able to buy a $1.7 million building for $1.5 million from them because they gave me a deal. That's B&I, that's the power of social capital. So if you're sitting back thinking, I don't know anybody, you've got to get out of your office, you got to get out of your studio, you got to meet other business owners. You have to know what's going on in your community. How are you going to know all the charities that boomers support if you don't know all the charities, right? BNI has been really powerful. Now there are other networking groups, there's all kinds, okay? That's not the only one. Interestingly enough, our BNI chapter this past year was the #1 chapter in the state of Indiana. There's like 40 some chapters in our region, and our region was #1 in the world. So we consider ourselves the #1 BNI group in the entire universe. So now, to tell you the power of that group, there's about 40 business owners in there, and last year we did $8 million worth of business with one another. That's a lot of power, right? That's pretty significant. When I have an issue, I'm on vacation, right? My trainer calls, there's water coming in the back door. I'm like, that's not possible. We had 6 inches of hail in July. I'm like, I'm at the beach, and we have 6, literally it looked like we had snowdrifts on the back of our building. Well, I knew who to call right away because I got BNI. I know somebody's going to take care of me. Before I even get back from vacation, it's going to already be taken care of, right? It's really valuable to have that, right? Instead of being on vacation going, oh crap, what do I do, right? There's water running in the back of my building. So don't underestimate the power of social capital. Do you think we could have put on this event without social capital? Absolutely not. We have built relationships in the fitness industry over a decade. We've continued to get to know people. To be able to know someone like Lindsay Vastola, who's done an absolute tremendous job as an MC, that's social capital, right? You have to build your network. I was at the TT Summit last weekend, and I told somebody that Lindsay was going to be our MC, and immediately they were like, whoa, your event's legit. Literally, they were like, you got Lindsay? Like, she's going to really class it up. And I was like, so they were saying nice things about you and kind of dissing me at the same time. I was like, how bad did you think our event was going to be? So invest in your social capital, okay? You need to build your relationships outside of the fitness world, okay? You need to know other people, what's going on, okay? And then our book. This has been a very new tactic for us, okay? So I gave out Book It. This is our book consultant. She helped us go to international bestseller. You think that's valuable for boomers to hear when they come in? Hey, you want a copy of my book? I just made the bestseller list. Oh, really? Actually, I'm an international bestseller in 6 countries. Okay. Email marketing. Just going to go over some of the basics. Write this down. The list is king. How many of you ever heard that before? Okay. The money is in the list. It's absolutely in the list. You guys are here because you're on an email list. Most of you, okay? You got an email from us, you got an email from Bedros, you got an email from Pat Rigsby, you got an email from Ryan Ketchum. I'm not even sure who else emailed out for it. Did you email out for it, Scott? Scott's only got like 9 trainers on his email list. Is there? I think there is. I think you got at least a couple people here. Fitness Fest that organized the event. Biggest Phoenix fitness event. Why do you think we came to Phoenix? We said, Fitness Fest, hey, will you organize this? Will you email out for it? A lot of you are probably Fitness Fest email list folks, right? The money's in the list. Always, always be building your list. Always. Don't go into a coffee shop and give somebody your card. Get their card. You give somebody your card, what is that? That's sort of like, I hope and dream and wish you may come and see me, right? That's putting all the power in their hands, right? Business cards really aren't that useful because you're literally giving control away. You want to get business cards. You want to get people's contact information. So flip it, right? Instead of giving them a business card, if you give me your name and email, I'll send you our top 10 fitness tips. Oh, okay, right? Like I think Scott shows up at fitness events and he forgot all his business cards, right? But if you give me your name and email address, it's worked great at TT Summit. I don't need your name and email addresses because I have them. TT Summit, I put something up on the screen. Hey, I don't have business cards for you, but if you give me your name and email address, I'll send you our free FAR starter kit. I got 42 people out of 65 in the room. That's pretty good. I didn't give them my business card because that would have given them control, and they'd never contact me. Because trainers are like, within 30 seconds, they lose the business card, right? Oh, I went to the bathroom. I don't know where the business card went. Always be building your list. Email marketing. We did a Labor Day sale, I think this was 3 years ago. 2 emails. I sent an email out on Saturday and an email out on Monday. We made $85,000 in about 4 days. That's actual money that came in, not on contracts, not overtime, $85,000. 2 emails. That was the only way people knew about it. In fact, a lot of that money came in while I was flying on a plane to Vegas, I think. So I show up and I'm sitting in this fitness mastermind. I'm like, $10,000 came in today, Cable. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, I sent out 2 emails. He's like, send me those 2 emails. The money's in the list. Now, do I have to have a decent sized list to generate that amount of money? Yeah, absolutely. Do I have to have baby boomers that are willing to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000? Yeah. I mean, that represented about 40 clients over 4 days. And almost half of them were brand new clients that just came in, wrote us a check for anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000. Okay? The money's in the list. Always, always be building your list. Always. Right now, you have people that should be on your email list. You haven't done the work to get them on there. I talk to trainers all the time. How many people are on your email list? 200. I'm like, seriously? Well, I've got another 300 in some database, and I've got 100 former clients, and I've got 35 friends, and I'm like, get these people on your email list. Okay, build your list as big and as fast as you can. Facebook marketing. Scott really covered this way better than I can. I'm learning from him. Post 2 to 3 times daily. Post videos. Post testimonials. Learn to use ads. They do work. The nice thing about Facebook is you can run an ad for $5 a day and figure out if it's working or not. If it's working, spend 10. You don't have to spend a lot of money on Facebook. Don't go spend $300 on an ad and go, well, that ad was a disaster, right? Start with 5 or 10 and then increase it if it's working. Pixels, you can build a list on Facebook. This is a new thing that I've just recently learned, and I'm glad that FitPro Newsletter added it. Right? So now when people hit my website or hit certain web pages, I can build a Facebook list to keep retargeting them. So I'm everywhere to them, right? Like, I wasn't thinking about a fitness program, but now I'm kind of thinking about it. And now this Dan Ritchie guy's in a video again, and now, right? You kind of stay after him that way. Watch the webinar with Scott. Great, great insights. How many people watched that webinar? At least a few of you? Okay, great. So there's a lot that can still learn from that. YouTube, Facebook, and TV marketing. This is the video aspect. This really builds the know, like, and trust you factor. People get to know you through video, even if it's 30 seconds, right? They immediately know if this is somebody I might like or trust. So, if you're terrible on video, you need to start filming several of them until you get comfortable, right? Because some people are like, this is Dan Ritchie, I'm at Miracles Fitness, like, you're done, right? Like, I'm not coming in to see you, okay? So you got to get comfortable on video. That there's a learning curve, but it's really not that hard. Once you get comfortable, be yourself, okay? They really do get to know, like, and trust you, right? They immediately realize, oh, this fitness professional isn't so scary. They kind of get me. They're talking about things that I need. Oh, this workout they showed, that would really help me. So we put out content videos. We do 3-minute balance workouts. In the wintertime, we know it's hard to get to us sometimes, so we put out all kinds of great content videos. Sometimes those pay off 6 months later, right? Somebody comes in and been like, I've been doing your home balance workout videos. I really like them. I know I need more help, right? You're building that know, like, and trust you factor. It establishes credibility. If I see you in video enough, I start to think, oh, this person's credible. They're putting out a lot of content, a lot of video. People don't realize that, you can get a flip cam, an iPhone, you can do HD videos with, limited equipment, but if the sound's decent, people kind of think, oh, they're credible, right? I believe them, I trust them. You can become an authority. People are more comfortable parting with their money if they already like you. If they come in and they're sort of like, I don't know about this person, I'm not sure I can trust them. They're already sort of like, what? They're guarding their wallet. I'm not sure if I want to give them any money. If they already like you when they come in, it's a whole lot easier, right? Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of our videos.
6.
This is Matt Bandolier, manager at Miracles Fitness. Early in the day, I got to train the anchors from WLFI. We are used to actually going there on Wednesdays, but for once, they got to come here. I'm here with Nicole Kahn, Joe LePage, and Laura Kirtley from WLFI, and I'm going to put them through a nice, good, quick workout. Even against their complaints about trying to take it easy on them, I just could not do that. Alrighty, so we're seeing how many push-ups you can do. All the way, because that's where your chest has to hit.
Like that?
Yep. Perfect. Got 10 seconds left. Yep, it's perfect. Start kind of getting the beat down, and then nice and fast, nice and fast. Really whip it down. Very good. This is your extended warm-up though. Now I know what I'm working with. That was pretty good. I'm gonna grab a few weights for you. It's not as bad as you think. Let's try to get up to 20. So we're shooting for 10 with each arm. Perfect. Halfway there. Very good. I think we could go a little bit heavier. All right. Very good. Not coordinated. What are you talking about?
It was very, very good. I was really impressed what we were able to do in 30 minutes. Very, very good workout. I'm already a little bit sore and a good kind of tired.
And your arms are done.
She's pretty quick. She's pretty quick.
So Dr. Dan Ritchie here for Miracles Fitness. Thanks for watching this video. We want to thank the mayors and the TV anchors from TV 18. Want to encourage you to come on out for the Pound for Pound Challenge or go online to pfpchallenge.com and sign up today.
Okay, so.
Railway tank cars would.
Yeah. So I'm standing between our cities because we did this as a city versus city challenge, Lafayette and West Lafayette, and those were the mayors of Lafayette and West Lafayette, and everybody knows that spot where I'm standing. That video still, that's 2011, you can probably tell it's a few years ago. I look a little older now. That video still, I have people ask me, who won? Which mayor won? Right? It was just a publicity stunt. We have another version where it's more of the mayors and less of the anchors, and the mayors are talking, and you can see them working out the whole time, and it sort of looks like a contest workout. We did that for the local food bank. They asked us to be involved with Pound for Pound Challenge, which was a national thing with Biggest Loser TV show, Feeding America, and Subway. And if your community participated and got a lot of publicity, you could win a $10,000 grant. Because we got both mayors involved and we did a public event at our facility. We almost got the governor to come. He was in town, but unfortunately wouldn't come. We won $10,000 for our local food bank. The nice thing is this video continues to live on. I continue to put it up on Facebook because they know who these people are. Those are our 3 TV anchors in town. None of them work at the TV station anymore. They've since moved on, but everybody recognizes them, right? Like, oh, that was Joe LePage. He worked out at your place? Yeah, for 2 years. Nicole Kahn, 11 p.m., evening news anchor for a couple years. She worked out at your place? Yeah, absolutely. So you can position yourself with videos like this as, kind of, hey, I'm a big deal in the community, right? All I did was ask the mayors. Of course, the food bank asked them too, right? The food bank's like, hey, if you participate in this, we can do a really good thing for our community. And both mayors obviously want to see more money come in, right? So I'm going to show you this next video I did. Really, really effective. We've used it as a TV commercial. And we've actually had people come in because they thought they saw me live on the news, and they came in and signed up. And I usually tell them, well, you saw me during the news, but it was a commercial, so I'm not trying to fool you, and they're like, no, that's okay, I want to sign up, right?
This is Dr. Dan Ritchie coming to you live from Miracles Fitness. I'm here with Nicole Kahn and Laura Kirtley. Nicole, tell me, how long have you been training at Miracles Fitness?
Just about a year now.
How about you, Laura?
Just over a year.
All right, Nicole, tell the viewers 2 or 3 great results you've seen in that year.
Well, I was skeptical about adding a half-an-hour workout twice a week. I didn't think it would make any difference, but I've actually dropped the dress size and got to say hello to my six-pack ab.
Laura, how about you?
Well, I too was skeptical about just adding a half an hour here and there because I was a cardio junkie. I really liked to be on the treadmill, but it would take hours every week. And I'm getting the same results with just twice a week, half an hour, adding those exercises to work the core, work a total body workout in a half hour. It's awesome.
So you heard it here live from Miracles Fitness. 2 workouts, 30 minutes twice a week. You can get great results. Give us a call here at Miracles Fitness. Come to our new location December 22nd for our 50% off grand opening special. Are you ready for your miracle? So that was a minute version. We would run that minute commercial during the news that Laura Kirtley anchored in the morning between 5 and 7 a.m. Who's watching the news between 5 and 7 a.m.? Yeah, right? Like, they're probably younger than our demographic, but guess what? Our boomers absolutely loved them, trusted them. That's who they got their news from, right? Well, if Miracles Fitness is good enough for them, immediately moved us up in terms of credibility, trustworthiness, those kinds of things, right? We ran this ad on TV for quite a while, very successful. Okay, we also made a 30-second version of it and ran it on cable for $1 a spot, right? And people were like, oh, I see Nicole Kahn and Laura Kirtley, and they know who those people are, right? So really, really powerful. We continue to put it on Facebook. We've got longer versions of it, 2-minute versions where they talk and you see them work out. We didn't run those on TV, but very effective. So if you have influential people you're training that other people know, get them in video, okay? Get them in some sort of video like this, get them in a testimonial. Really powerful. Okay, I touched on BNI already. You probably have a BNI in your area. The one nice thing about BNI is it's exclusive. So there can't be other fitness owners in it, which means if there are other fitness owners in it, you can't join, okay? But that's a nice thing, okay? You need 30 to 40 other business owners, friends, and colleagues. There will be a time when business gets tough, and boy, it's sure nice to have 5 other business owners you can go out to lunch with or you can talk to. I remember when the auto glass guy who his sons were training with me, he's like, man, our July was the worst ever. I'm like, it's really encouraging to hear because our July was terrible too. I don't know what's going on. And then we talked to a couple other business owners. Same kind of thing, okay? Social capital is power and influence, okay? You need to build that. I already said that. FAI event made possible by social capital. Write a book, okay? The book on your table is like, what, 40 pages, 50 pages? It's a 50-page book on how to write a book, okay? And it's yours for free. Nicole helped us with our book. She helped us relaunch it on Kindle. And we bumped off Jane Fonda, Suzanne Summers, Lorraine Bracco, the goddess of aging who had been on Oprah just a few weeks before. And we moved all the way to the #1 spot. There we are. Very exciting. Now, you can use Nicole. So if you're saying, hey, I really, really want to use a book, her book tells you how to contact her. We actually are talking about doing a done-for-you FAI book. So if you're like, hey, I really want some FAI principles, content, we have that done for you already. And Nicole can help put that whole thing together. So if you're like, I really want a book in the next 30 days, she can make that happen. And you can have done-for-you FAI content in it. Did you have a, I'll take. What's inside the book? Is it your book made for you that you just put what's the content? Yep. So we can customize the title, the subtitle, the author name, the introduction chapter, but the meat of the book is already done for you. So it's a different version. So it's got functional aging principles, it's got functional aging workouts, but it's designed to draw clients into you. So you give them out the book like a business card, and they read it and they go, wow, I desperately need to come train with you. What's that? No, I'm not. This is really real. You can really get a done-for-you book, and I've seen Nicole do it in under 21 days with other people. You can really get a done-for-you book. We've pretty much got the whole thing designed. We were hoping to have it here for you today, but we just couldn't get it finished. So, basically, the best thing to do is contact Nicole, and it's in her book. The best thing to do is to read her book, which will literally take you, she designed it so you could read her book in about 30 minutes and go, I can write my own book. It's not that hard. How do I do it? Oh, I contact her. Okay. And that's what this book will be for you, right? It's like literally somebody sits down in their living room, right? Like we all think direct mail doesn't work. The wrong kind of direct mail doesn't work. You mail this out to someone, they're not going to pitch it. They're going to put it on their shelf, they're going to put it on their coffee table, they will eventually sit down and read it. And as they read it, they go, wow, this is really speaking to me. I think I need to come meet with Dawn because you're the author, right? Or Debbie, or Mark, or whoever the author is, right? So it's a really powerful business card because it lasts a long time. People have a hard time throwing a book away. It's also a lot more legitimate business card, right? I'm not. Boom, there it is. So it's about $1,800 to get the whole Done For You book. Nicole will help you with all of this. So literally all you have to do is send her your title, your bio, your photo, some of that sort of stuff. And then the books only cost you about, Nicole's book costs about $2.15. They cost between $2.15 and $2.50 depending on how many pages. Okay. Our Never Grow Old book's about $2.50. Yeah. You pay for the copies. Yep. That's just to get the book done on Amazon so you can order as many as you want. And give them away like you're giving away water, right? You just literally want to get them out, okay? So it's been a great strategy for us because guess what we do? We use the 2 physical therapy clinic partners we have and they give them to every new patient. I give them out when I go speak. I go to a retiree event. Guess what? I got a stack of books. Are these free? Yeah, sure, you can have them. I also sell them. My clients buy them for Christmas presents. I'm like, if you're going to buy 5, I'll give you a deal, right? I had a client buy 5, $10 a book. I'm making money on the book. I would have given them to him for half price. So really, really powerful tool. Immediately bumps your credibility. I came back actually this week from San Diego. On Monday, I walk into my facility and Terry, a former florist, she actually sold her business. Good for her. She comes up to me and she's like, you're never going to believe this. She's like, I'm talking to my friend from Frankfurt. And she's going on and on about this book she's reading. I'm like, okay. I had no idea where this was going. And she's like, and then she tells me about it. And I'm like, this sounds familiar. She's like, what's the book called? She's like, Never Grow Old. And she's like, I'm like, really? She's like, I think I know the author. She's like, no, how would you know the author? She's like, I think I train at his place. They start talking more. She's like, who's the author? She's like, Dan Ritchie. She's like, yeah, I train at his place. That's what I've been telling you about, Miracles Fitness. It's a town about 30 minutes away. Somehow she got a copy of my book. Terry doesn't even know how. So you think my client likes that? Right? She's like, yeah, I've been telling you about this place, right? And now her friend's like, she said her friend just all of a sudden was like, whoa, I can't, like, you know him? You know, like, oh, I'm so amazing, right? Because I have a book, right? But it immediately elevated me for both of them, right? Really cool story, right? She's bragging on me to me, right? Telling this story, so really cool. She also has, if you don't want a Done For You FAI book that's ready to go, she is a major book consultant for people that want to, do best-selling books and that sort of thing. All the way up to, she's got $10,000 clients that, really want to get big into the publishing. So those are kind of my 5 tips. As I wrap up here, you've got to engage them online. So I talked about email, Facebook, YouTube. There are other social medias that I'm not doing. Pinterest can be very powerful, especially for women. How many men on here pin a lot? Nobody's brave enough to raise their hand. Okay. But it's very powerful for women, especially recipes and things like that. Okay. What sells? Well, we know sex sells, but in this market, self-actualization. Okay? So you want to make sure you're associating your messages, your products, your services with peak experiences. Okay, this is one disconnect we make in our marketing messages. So your Facebook messages, your email marketing, talk about those things. I sent an email today to my local clients. I told them about this event. It's a peak experience for me, but guess what? It's a peak experience for them. I was like, hey, guess what? Miracles Fitness has started a functional aging movement that is reaching around the globe. We have over 5 countries represented, over 180 fitness professionals at the Functional Aging Summit. Right? Like, be proud of that, right? Like, you work out at the facility that started this huge movement. So I'm going to come back on Monday. They're going to be like, what was the summit like? What was it like? Like, are fitness professionals buying into what you're doing? Right? Like, let's rally around this. Be Be generative. Give back. Wear silly pink hats. Okay? Habitat for Humanity in our town does a women's build. Men are not allowed to touch the property. They're not allowed to set foot on it. They're not allowed to do anything. Right? Women can do anything a man can do, right? Typically better. So they go to all the male business owners and say, raise the money so we can go build the house. Great. So if you raise $250 or more, I think, you get to keep the pink hard hat. So literally, I was all over Facebook. You can probably still find images all over the internet, Scott, if you go looking, okay? This is about 3 or 4 years ago. That's me downtown. I was just all over, right? The Ultimate Pink Party was like, you've got to come to our Ultimate Pink Party fashion show and wear the pink hard hat. I'm like, are there any men at this show? They're like, no, it's the Ultimate Pink Party. It's this breast cancer awareness thing. There's like 500 crazy women all dressed in pink. I'm like, and I got to come out in a pink hard hat? That's not going to end well. But I did it. We raised $2,700 for Habitat for Humanity, and we gave it away on TV. That was really cool. We got on the local news. Miracles for Murdoch. What time is it, Austin? How over am I? 4 minutes over. Okay. I see the clock there, so I'm like, oh dear. I'm almost done. Miracles for Murdoch. See all these apples here? We had about 100 apples at each location, right? We all kind of relate to apples and teachers, right? So this is Murdoch's school in Lafayette. I live in West Lafayette. My kids go to a great school. My wife shows up at the 4th grade open house last year, and the teacher asks for rat cages, rat food, calculators, field trip money, you name it, right? Games, Uno, different supplies, right? All kinds of things. Every request was met. $20 here, $20 there, I'll buy that, I'll do this, I'll do that. In fact, we were one of the rare families that didn't have 2 parents in the room. Every kid had a parent in the room, and over half of them had 2 parents. Why is it that 15 minutes across the river at Murdoch, they don't even have an open house because none of the parents will come? In fact, Jen said, I bet the teachers don't get anything. I said, well, why don't you call the principal and ask? So she calls the principal and says, what is your open house experience like? She said, we don't have one. The parents won't come. It's a lower income area. It's 15 minutes from where I live. So my wife said, we want to do something for Murdoch. We want to do miracles for Murdoch. We're going to put up apples at both facilities, and we're going to challenge our clients who are affluent to give back to your elementary school. So we put these boards up. And you know what? The principal comes back with the most pathetic, sad list. I said, you've got to do better. We're not giving you pencils and staples and staplers and paper clips. That's pathetic. Ask bigger. My clients will do more. So the teachers actually came out with their wish list, right? Like bean bags, carpet squares, Uno, board games, iPhone, headphones. I mean, like they asked for expensive stuff. And almost all of these apples were gone off of both boards at both locations, and my clients thanked me for giving them that opportunity. And Miracles took a couple apples, but my clients did it, right? We did a food drive. My clients loved that as well. And they give all kinds of crappy, unhealthy food. That's the way food drives go, right? We did this mayor versus mayor challenge. I already showed you the video. We raised $10,000 for our local food bank, and we continue to play this video. They're both still mayors of our town. Mayor Dennis here, West Lafayette, gave us a tremendous testimonial for our promotional videos for FAI, and they didn't make it into the final cut. Rob cut them. That's all right. Become the local go-to expert. If you can get on local television, get on it. This morning, how many of you saw local television at the fitness place? Anybody see that? I saw them, okay? They will come out to your studio. They'll let you into studio. You have to ask. You have to be persistent. You have to do some of the things Lindsay shared, right? Like you have to know how to approach the news. You can't just go, hey, I want to show a fitness segment on the news, right? Like you got to be professional about it. All right, I'm going to wrap up here. Cody, you want to come up with me and share any closing thoughts? If you've not done our functional aging specialist program, some people have asked, how does it work? It's 13 educational modules. Do I have to do a workshop? No, you don't have to do a workshop. Those of you that did a workshop on Thursday, fantastic. You don't have to do a workshop. I usually tell people the workshop is the videos live and in person. Okay? It's 13 educational modules, which are made up of 12 manuals and 22 videos. It's quite a few hours of video. And then there's a 90-question test. The exam is not easy. Those of you that passed it will let you know the exam's not easy, okay? It's legit. All kinds of CECs for that. Here's our advisory board again. Somehow I left the Canadian off of there. I'm not sure how. So Rick got left off of that picture. Reminder that we do donate 10% to our charities, and if you want to pick up more information on that, that would be fantastic. Our goal is to get to 1 million clients served as fast as possible, which means we need as many functional aging specialists, as many of you as we possibly can, because we know we can impact lives, and we know this number can be 10 times that. That is really all I've got. There is a spillover effect. Like you noticed, Laura and Nicole, they're a little bit younger. Well, guess what? That did bring in some women in their 40s because they saw them. So, and you're going to get some people that are older too. But that's pretty much it. I think this is Cody's bookshelf and some great resources. So that's all I've got.
People always just ask me about resources, and so this is kind of a snapshot of some of the books on my shelf that I go to that are good for you. If you ever heard me talk, one of the books that I highly recommend is the one that says No BS Marketing to Boomers and Seniors by Dan Kennedy. It's a smaller book, so it's very easily digestible, and it's not high level, too much marketing information. Some of these other books are a little bit heavier marketing. But if you want a kind of poignant book to re-emphasize some of the key points of like, what do I do and not do, what do I say and not say, how do I not make mistakes with this population and with certain segments of the population, the Dan Kennedy book is a good one. So No BS Marketing to Boomers and Seniors.
Is Jamie in the room? I was going to give this away to Jamie, but I'm not seeing her in the room.
Right there.
You are there. Okay.
So,
come on up. Yeah, which Jamie?
so she's getting the No BS Marketing?
Yep.
All right. Very good.
There you go.
Closing thoughts? Well, I just personally want to thank everybody for coming. I think it's been just fabulous. It has exceeded expectations. And so thank you, Lindsay, for making everything run so smoothly, and for my work wife, Dan, for all the great time and effort he's put into it. But obviously, as we said before, this does not happen in a void. It takes a lot of people, and we have been fortunate to hook up and build that social capital and build relationships and with so many good people, and many of you in this room. And I know some of you I haven't met yet, and my goal was try to personally meet everybody this weekend. So if I have not shook your hand and gotten your name, please make sure that you do that when we're done. And as we finish up, we want to get pictures with more of you than we've gotten, and so this is going to be our picture area. So when we're done, come up onto the stage, take pictures with us, without us, it doesn't matter. We would love to get more snaps of all of you and have you share that with your friends and with us as well.
I want to thank our sponsors and our exhibitors, Chris and Art and Derek and David and Paul Holbrook with Age Performance. Really thank them. It's great to have their support at our event. And really thank all of you for coming out for the 2 days and putting your trust in us that we'd put on an event that I think slightly over-delivered. So.
Yes.
Yeah.